One of the things you need to understand about discipline is it is the it is the ask and execution of you doing things whether you feel like it or not.
Mm.
This is not an interview. There is no format. This is simply a conversation about life.
I would say also that something else that I heard or read somewhere that kind of goes along the lines with this, because not necessarily every person is an artist, actively, or knowingly, um, but it kind of does come down to you have something that you love, and I think people have this idea that you work really hard doing something else so that you can fund what you love. But the other way to see it is you take what you love and you try to find a way to earn a living from it, you know?
Yeah.
And so, and then you have to figure out which one of those is going to make you happy as well, Because I talk about the fact that I never had a job that I hated, never once. And even if it was a job that I should hate, I loved it because I knew why I was doing it. So,
Right.
I knew what the end goal was. It wasn't to be there for the rest of my life, or I wasn't meant to be taking out trash, which was one of my jobs. Like at my first job at this club was um, being a bar back, which was a lot of, you know, old drink juice and cigarette smoke and
Dude.
going out and jumping away from rats and stuff like that in the back of the club. But I knew why I was doing this job, and I knew it wasn't where, like, my station in life. It doesn't say anything about me, or you know so I just always appreciated every job that I have had. And I think that even if someone decides not to be an artist, that I would think it would be a good idea to consider, like, being as close to doing what you love as possible, and then letting the rest figure itself out,
Yes.
but obviously that would, you know it would make for, you have to make some kind of consistent choices along the way as well, because obviously you get a you have a child or something, or you have any other person that you have to consider in your life, then this alters what's possible in a way,
Sure.
but overall.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely true. Um, I think, especially in today's age, like to your point, it's so important that you have a vision of what you're trying to accomplish as an artist, and secondly, it's very important that you absolutely commit to the point of no retreat. Because believe me, I've had my times where I've been like, man, this 9 to 5 thing would be a nice little move right now.
Mhm.
Knowing that fat check is coming in every 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and I remember having some of these discussions with myself, like, you know what, the true the true definition of faith into your artistry is creating an environment where there's no retreat. Some
Mhm.
people would say that's completely asinine and stupid. But I personally believe powerful things happen when you're in the pursuit of your dream with the degree of a strong vision and commitment, that you do not create retreats, because those retreats are just distractions.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
do not force you to become your very best self, and they actually force a thinking and a mindset to truly ask, where are you anchoring your value,
Right.
you know and everything else just flows from that. So, like, when I look at what we've been doing with YouTube, that's not by chance, man. You know, that's real commitment and a decision to say, all right, we're gonna do this YouTube stuff because it's a facilitator of exposing me to an audience that's absolutely committed to my artistry and wants to hear my thoughts and opinions as well as my music. So cool. That's tripled in growth, right? And it's not even a year yet.
Yeah.
So that if I had a retreat that would pull me away from that, none of the other benefits would happen.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but it's always worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think so. You
Yeah,
know,
absolutely. I yeah, I'm not disagreeing with anything. Like everything is pretty much. Although I would say that I'm admiring the way that you're going about it, because I think my thoughts are a little bit more um, theoretical in a way.
mm,
When even actually, well, we're kind of doing some of the same things or whatever. So I guess it's kind of the same, but I can even hear it in your voice and the way you speak about it and the results that like it sounds like you're working this like a job. You know what I mean? It's not like any,
sure.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah. That's an like maybe I just sort of glossed over that because yeah, I do treat this like a job. I got a schedule. I got weekly goals that have to get done. I got monthly goals that have to get done. Um, you you can't do it without some form of structure. You
right.
know, like discipline is one thing. You know, and my definition of discipline. There's a guy named Brian Tracy who's a motivational speaker here in Canada, and it's interesting. When I was in my 9 to 5, I had this goal to become a like a director. It's basically one step down from a vice president by a certain age, and I did that. But he was helping me achieve that, and he said, you know, one of the things you need to understand about discipline is it is the it is the ask and execution of you doing things whether you feel like it or not.
Mm,
So getting the things you need to get done, whether you feel like it or not. So you want to become a great DJ? Well, you're going to have to practice 2 hours every day,
mhm.
and you got to do that whether you feel like it or not. Not like if we went to the gym only when we felt like it, I would still be you know
Right.
half-assed in my physical
Yeah, yeah,
goals.
and
So
yeah.
it's
Oh,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say that that's what I mean. It's like when people work a 9 to 5, right? That's exactly what it is. You go there, no matter what, because you just don't even feel like you have a choice in the matter. Like you just like I got to get up and I got to be there, and that's what it is. And it's so often that we can't like impose this on ourselves. And so
Yeah,
yeah, like
and it really is. I think the greatest gift we have as humans is the ability to choose.
hmm
It is the most impactful tool and thing that we have in life is the ability to choose.
yeah,
And we could do that consciously. You know, so you got to make certain choices.
yeah. And this is the
And
thing that's the crazy thing because it's really. I mean, I talk to like quite a few people who are artists or who are trying to do things and make movies and do different kinds of things. And I think a lot of people do tend to allow themselves to believe that they don't have a choice. And I've even had like arguments with people trying to convince them that they can do something and they're arguing against it. You know what I mean? And I
yeah,
find
which is crazy. Yeah,
yeah, this
yeah,
is like crazy. And So I'll be saying, no, you could do this. Oh, you don't need this person to do this. Like they can't block you from doing this. You just can go over here, And there's no, this is they're holding me back, and this is like, no, we can't do this, and it's really interesting that people have trouble understanding that they do have a choice,
Yeah.
but you just have to take it, like.
Yeah. And all of that is and the stuff that's between um actually, the thought of, hey, I need to make this decision,
Mm-hmm.
and actually doing it. The only thing in between those 2 points is fear.
Yeah.
Like there's this theory of, if you ask a person 5 times why,
Mm-hmm.
you'll get to the root of what it is that's really driving their actions or motivation. Um, and I encourage people stop. I encourage people to do that every time they have a major decision or something they're thinking about, is to ask themselves the 5 whys,
Mm-hmm.
and write it down, get down to what it is. Things are always, when it comes to fear, is an interesting thing, and I'm so glad I'm doing music full time, because it's helped me to deal with certain cursory fears that I used to have. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's helped make me an even stronger and much more confident person than I was yesteryear. Right.
Right, right.
Um, and I always find the thing with fear is that it's always larger in the confines of your mind than it is on paper.
Mm.
And the reality is, with fear, like 90% of what you think doom and gloom is and what's going to happen doesn't happen.
Right, right, right.
It just, when you're committed to something and you're working through it, yeah, you might experience disappointments and setbacks. But what actually occurs, because you've been committed and consistent in that, is something much bigger than what you could have imagined. I couldn't imagine this. Like, this is my first real studio, and I come in here and I get to work on what I want to work on every day, and I have people pursuing me to share what comes out of this room.
That's awesome.
It fascinates me, but I understand why this is happening, and I have every intention to keep that going. But it comes from choice,
Yes, yes.
right?
All right. So now this is what I'm taking away. This is what I'm taking away. This is what I'm learning about myself through talking to you.
Oh, word.
Um, I'm realizing that I do have discipline, but I don't have structure. And this may be the missing link.
You cut there. You do have discipline, but
I do have discipline, but I don't have the structure.
mm,
I think that's it. I think that's
yeah,
it. So now I'm gonna start writing things down and setting, because I've always like thought about things in terms of like, what do I consider success to be, and I have like, it really helps me with almost every decision that I make, because I can say, okay, this is what I want to happen for myself and for my life. Which one of these things is going to move me closer to that? And so
mm,
I don't really even have to think so much about decisions. I know this is going to do it. And
yeah,
but that's the overall long-term goal. But I definitely don't think about like, this is what I need to get done this week, or this is what I need to get done today. I just kind of do, you know what I mean? I just do something. I just start doing things, you know what I mean? And I think maybe I need to refine this a little bit more with some structure. Okay.
yeah, yeah. And I can relate to you on that, because I never used to be this structured. It must be an artistic thing, right? We allow for this sort of stuff. It needs to be free, and stop overthinking things. And no, you need some structure, man. Especially especially now, because there's so many messages and distractions coming at you,
Mhm.
that if you can't sit down with yourself at the end of the day and say, did I accomplish you know, the 20% that achieves the 80% on that list, then you know, what are you measuring yourself against, right? So it's wildly important. Like it's crazy, but I know it works, and I encourage every artist to, you know, little things like make your bed when you get up, like, you know what I mean. I know it sounds stupid, but like it's like those little things add structure, work out, you know, keep your body right, uh, and just push yourself, you know. Trust me, there's days, man, I don't want to do this stuff, but I'm like, 9 to 5. That's enough fear.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
You either you do it now or you end up doing it for somebody else that's going to make you do it. You
yo,
know? Yeah.
I don't want that. I'm cool. I'm gonna keep pushing here.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So,
Oh shoot.
shit, man. Thank you.
Well, thank you, man.